guys, this is Jackie and Miss Kit Kat Cupcake. Bit of a different video for you today. Some of you follow me for my planning, some of you follow me for low carb, which is fine. So this is kind of when those crazy things collide. So I'm going to do a meal plan with me. Just going to throw out a few ideas for you as well. Now, I follow low carb. I did take a break. Oh, excuse me, wobbly table. I did take a break, but I'm back now. So, and I find the thing that really helps me the most with low carb is planning, because it's otherwise you could be impulse eating, etc., etc. But you can apply these principles to any diet. There's nothing here that's complicated or rocket science that probably you don't know. So this is probably going to be a refresher for you. Okay, so first things first is the actual planning part of it. So what I've got here is a variety of different options for you, depending on how busy you are and all those things. So, going back to basics, so let's move these out of the way so it makes some sense. Some people are happy to plan their meals 1 day ahead, 2 days ahead, 3, 5, 7, 14, even a month ahead if that's the way you live. Because some people, don't forget, they live very rurally and they can only get to shops periodically. Some people grow their own, so it's seasonal. So there is no right or wrong here. I personally do 5 days because Monday to Friday I'm at work. Saturdays and Sundays I'm all over the place. I don't know where I'm coming and going, so I don't like to meal plan for the weekend. So that works for me. If you prefer doing it shorter or longer, pick whatever works for you. Okay, so don't feel bad if you want to do 7, 14, or just do 3. That's fine. Also, I'm doing a full day here, but some people only want to meal plan their evening meals, where some people on a diet, they want to do the full day. So again, if meal planning is purely for your evening meal because your days are taken care of, again, that's absolutely fine. So, a couple of bits I've picked up along my way. I was given this. It's quite small, but I've got big handwriting, so this one isn't great for me. I do use it's called friction pen, which is a pen that I can rub out because I am really terrible handwriting. It's really big, and I make loads of errors. So I've got one of those. So you may see me using that. So don't panic. This for me is a little skinny. It might be good for you. So I won't be using something that's so small. I've got this one. I don't even know what this one. You can get these sorts of things in most stationery shops. So don't panic. You buy one probably off Amazon, eBay as well for a couple of dollars delivered. They're very cheap and common. You can simply use an A4 piece of paper if that works for you. I've also got this. It's not your screen. This, for some reason, they put it in yellow and it's so unbelievably small. It's daft, but I like the fact it's got the grids on it, which helps me. Another way you could do it is if you really want to take it seriously or not, or you're a very organised mind, you might find investing in a little planner helps you purely for your meal prep and your move planning. So something like this, you pop in your purse, or something a little bit bigger. If your handwriting's a bit bigger, you might find that better. I actually might start using this one purely for meal prepping and meal planning, because I think it's a good size, and also you can maybe put your coupons in there and your vouchers. Even, it sounds geeky, make notes in there of when deals and offers are going on in your supermarket. So if you know there's a really good deal on chicken, or some particular cheese you like, you can say, you could put a note in your thing and remind yourself that's the last week I'm going to be able to buy it. Again, whatever works for you, whatever. That's maybe some ideas you might want to think about. I'm going to be going into this just purely for food, because I do it every week, so I might as well have something decent to put it in. So there's that. I'm probably for today using this. Hopefully you can see the full thing. My camera, I use an iPhone. I haven't got money for a big camera, and I break it if I'm honest. So I'm using this for 5 days. So I'm going to quickly put empty. And it's also going to be a nice bit of space there, which I may actually use for a shopping list, or just to jot ideas down, or like whatever. Okay, and again, one of my things I advise is no matter what diet or how you eat, whatever you want to call it, lifestyle, whatever, if you are on a diet, is stick as much as possible to your pre-existing method and style of eating. So if you're a busy person, you don't get time for breakfast, which I know is a sin and all that thing, don't reinvent the wheel. Don't promise yourself you're going to get up at 6 AM and cook yourself breakfast, because you won't. Then you'll get annoyed, then you'll go and eat a donut. So just don't bother promising yourself a complete revolution. It's about an evolution of who you are and how you eat, rather than a complete revolution. I know, I work in an office, I can eat all day long, my boss don't care. So my breakfast, lunch and snacks are all pretty much in one big lump. It's only on my evening meal that's separate, because I'm very lucky like that. However, for the sake of this, I'm going to break it down a little bit just so you can see where it all lays. So I'm going to put breakfast, please don't judge my handwriting. And I think my pen's about to run out. Breakfast, lunch. I'm actually going to put snacks there and dinner. Oh no, my pen's run out. Right, okay, I can't use my friction, I've got another pen, so I'll use that there. So again, so this is pretty much my daytime and then my evening meal. So that's why I'm going to do it. Now, because I am a planner, which you may have seen some of my other videos, come back onto that. Because I'm a planner, what I have been doing, over the months and years I've been dieting in various forms, I've been keeping bookmarks of my favourite recipes and things I like. And then basically one day I sat down, it was a Saturday and it was awful, and it took me all day, but I actually noted all of my various things that I like to eat when I'm on a particularly low carb diet. And then I put them in sections in my planner, which sounds, you think, oh my God, what's wrong with this woman? There is a reason. So, this is purely for me. So if you quickly want to stare at my list, you can. My handwriting's rubbish, as I've mentioned. This is more of a shopping list at the front of regular things I could pick up at the supermarket. But then I also made a page for breakfast, which again, I don't eat a lot of. Pages for lunches, if I wanted to cook myself a nice lunch or take something to work with me. Regular dinners that I've consumed I've liked the idea of. There's quite a few of them. I marked a couple that were slow cooker ones because I do like my slow cooker. Side orders, so if you cook something like there and you want a side of it, so these are low carb sides. Then I have my snacks, and then I have a page for dessert, because dessert is the most important meal of the day, and just some drinks as well, just for I want some inspiration. So what I do when I meal plan, I refer to this. Now don't panic if you've not got this, because I'm a nerd and I like doing lists. I'm a prolific list maker. That's fine, start with what you got. Use your brain, but what I would recommend, if you are going on a different path, maybe start to planning in any way that you see fit. Maybe something like this, maybe something like that. A notepad, whatever, of regular things, because your housemate go, oh, I love that, and then forget about it a week later if you're an old lady like me. So this is the things I remember that I like. So I will be referring to this quite a bit today, because for inspiration. Okay, so getting back to the daily plan, what you might find, if you think this is going to work for you, you're going to repeat this every week. You may want to save this, or you may want to start from scratch every week. If you want to a quick one, what you might find is good is if you know you're going to be having the same things frequently, which is I do. I confess I have the same things sometimes every day, because I find it easier just to plan and prep, and for budgeting reasons, it can get quite expensive. So I buy a cooking bulk and have things every day. You might find using post-it notes and sticking them on, and then next week reusing them, just to be lazy. You might find that works for you, which is absolutely fine. I am going to do a separate video for an electronic version of this using Excel, which is obviously much quicker than doing this, but not everyone's got that, and some people will actually enjoy the process. So that's a separate video. Okay, so that's an option for you. Okay. Other thing as well, before you start actually deciding what you're having, the first thing you should do is go to your fridge and see what you've already got, because one, don't want to waste food. Two, well, that's it really, we don't want to waste food. And that'd be silly. So I've quickly dashed to my fridge and my cupboard just to remind myself what I've previously bought. I am a bit of a food hoarder, so I've got things in my cupboard from a long time ago. I'm terrible. And I'm trying to get better at not doing that. I think it's just overeating, money in the cupboard thing. It's one of those things that I'm never going to get over. So I've made a quick list of what I've got. So I actually forgot about a third of this before I sat down. So I'm glad I did this as a process. So I'm going to put that to one side and bear it in mind. Right. Obviously, as part of this, you need to know your personal goals. I'm not going to tell you your goal because everyone's got different ones and it's not fair. So my personal goal is to try to stick to about 30 grams of carbs a day. and about 2,000 calories. I tend to find, I know that I've got to eat lots of fat. It tends to take care of itself. So I don't panic about my macros too much, but you work with whatever you've got. So hopefully you can see this okay. So my camera is an iPhone. So what you could do, you might want to start on one day at a time and work across, or you might actually do breakfast every day, or just jump around. Up to you. I have the same things every day most of the time, unless I've only got bits and bobs. So I'm actually going to do the same thing. So for my breakfast, I don't eat breakfast. Never have done since I was a kid. I just don't like breakfast. No comprende, don't get it. I can't eat that soon after waking up. So what I have a long commute. I have door from my home to work is about an hour and 10. So when I arrive, just before I go into my office, I actually grab my first meal of the day. I actually have a low carb coffee from a national chain beginning with S. That's not very popular here for tax reasons. So I'm actually going to have it every day. So that for me is super simple. But I do have my planner here. So if I actually wanted something else, these are some other things I actually might have. And I actually may have some of these things as a snack, or maybe in my lunchtime. So it's not like I cut myself off. But this is for ease and budgeting reasons and all those things. It works for me. So I might, one of the things I like to make is breakfast, like the little cake pan things, the little things, with omelette, with egg and bits of bacon, stuff like that. If I've got some, I haven't got any eggs. I'm not going to go and buy eggs. I can't be bothered. Maybe next week I'll do that, but I haven't got any. I'm getting rid of my fridge, so I'm not going to go and buy eggs. Simple have bulletproof coffee. I'm not keen on bulletproof coffee. If I do, I don't use butter. I use MCT oil. That's M for Mother, C for Charlie, T for Tango, which you can buy in a bottle. Doesn't taste anything. I sometimes do have that, or I have a bulletproof hot chocolate. But for next week, I'm at work every day. I'm not going to be home cooking breakfast. I'm actually going to have. I've got some chia pudding in the fridge at work. I forgot to eat the other day, so I probably will have that on Monday. So I will put that in as a snack actually, but. For the sake of this quickness, I'm going to have, I call it a cold velvet, which is what I like that's low carb from that place, which is a cold coffee. God, my handwriting's terrible. It's a cold coffee iced with cream, sugar-free sweetener, and then cream on top. It's really rich and it actually really fills me up. I'm not thinking, I'll get there maybe at 8 and I won't be thinking about food till at least 11. I won't even think about it. And I love food. I think about food all the time because it's so fatty. I think it's something hideous, like 20 grams of fat just in this drink. But again, have whatever you want. You can mix and match. There are, fit it into your macros. Some people prefer to eat light in the morning. Some people prefer this to be very heavy to keep them going if they're out and about. I'm not going to tell you what to do. That's up to you. Okay, so lunches, as I said, I've got some chia pudding in my fridge at work because I forgot to eat it. It should last until Monday, I'm thinking. If you're asking about why am I writing down my macros, blah, 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 I kind of know what I'm doing because I have the same things frequently. So I will plumb this into MyFitnessPal anyway, just to be sure. And if I feel like I've gone over in any days, I will take some out. I've got no problems doing that. If I go out and I've decided I'm having something blah for dinner, and I go to the shop and I see a massive, grand, fantastic deal, I'm going to cross it out and have that instead. This isn't set in stone. This is to help me and help you shop, plan, not worry. I know where you are, and also things like budgeting reasons. If you've got a tight budget, you hopefully will find this easier. So I've got a chia pudding there. So that's something I know I need straight away. When I say lunch, I also mean lunch and snacks together because, to be honest, because I say that I eat all day at work, I literally graze every hour. I pick at something. So this is quite fluid for me. This part here, so don't worry about that for me, but for you, you might be more regimented because you may work in an office that doesn't allow that, or work or drive around, or have lots of kids and you have commitments and you're very social or whatever. That's just the way I live. Excuse me. So going on now, if I look into my fridge, I do have a lovely section in my planner for lunches, but these are all cooked lunches. And I'm not feeling particularly like I want to do a food prep because I'm going out tomorrow and then it's back to work Monday. So I don't have a lot of time to do prepping this week. So what I would like to normally do is on a Sunday is to cook something. Whether it be lunches, a dinner for the week, or both, or even breakfast as well. So I'm not really going to have time. So I'm kind of going to rely on a mixture of very small things. What I did have in the fridge, which I bought today because I saw them on a deal, was some frankfurters, and they are like 0.2 carbs, something daft. And they're like a pack of 6. Obviously it's 5 days here. Could have 1 a day as a snack, or maybe 2, I don't know. But what I'm thinking is, what else have I got on my list? I also bought 3 Philadelphia pots, and they're like that cream cheese, and they've got olive in it, and no one else seems to like them apart from me. And I think a whole pot's like 2.5 carbs in it. I've also got some celery, which is looking a bit dodge. So I'm gonna have Philly with celery. Celery has got carbs in it, probably more than the Philadelphia. So I will have to what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do Philly there, and celery. So my handwriting's shocking, isn't it? I'm sorry. But then I'm going to space it out. I might actually save one for Friday. But by then, my celery will be dead. And probably gone. Well, I'll split it in 2. Okay. What else have I got on there? I probably shove it in the snacks. I always have the little pieces of cheese. The snack sizes. It can be expensive gram for gram. But I also just bought a block like £10. So I may actually just chop it up and give myself 30 gram portions. It's better value for money. So I'm going to have some cheese and a pepperoni stick, which is, you know, meaty sticks, foil wrapped, just rip them off, eat them. And again, it's one of my favourites because it's quick, easy, fairly inexpensive. And if you get the pre-wrapped cheese, it lasts a while, it doesn't go gross. Shove them in your fridge for 2-3 weeks and it's absolutely fine. Is this kind of like Sudoku? You fill in the gaps. And again, that's fine. If you're more systematic, that's fine. Right, so I'm going to cross the Philly pots off my list of things that I have. My celery's going, pepperoni's gone, cheese. I've also got half a carton of almond milk, so I need to do something about that. So I'm thinking some more chia pudding during the week. We'll have it Monday. Let's have it Wednesday and Friday, because that should get rid of most of my almond milk, because I don't want it to go off. I just don't want to waste it. Okay, so there's that. What else have I got? So chia pudding, Philly salad. I will need to go and buy some meaty packs, deli meats, like salamis, pastrami, those little packs of meat you can get with, pepperoni sliced up for you. So I just call it deli meat. Again, I'll have a different one every day, but I'm not going to list them because I haven't bought them yet. But I'll grab those on the way home. As you see, I'm starting to get things I haven't got. So I'm going to put, and if you can see that, because I don't know how this is focusing, deli meat. 5 times deli meat. Okay. See, it's starting to all come together, isn't it? Okay, so I've also got some pork crunch, which is like, I don't know if you have them in America and Australia and Europe and things. Pork scratchings, where they get the pork skin and they puff it up and it's in a bag. Have that, but there is quite a lot of protein going on, so I don't want to have a lot of it. So I'm going to probably take 1 bag and divide. It's about that big, about that fat. It's quite chubby. I'll probably divide it into 5 because I want 5 small portions because the protein is really starting to build up here. So I'm going to go pork crunch. Please, again, I know my handwriting sucks. I wish I was one of those wonderful people that did, calligraphy. That's such an amazing thing. Now, yeah, I've also got, that's the Frankfurt that's crossed off my list. I might have some nuts. I think that'll probably be enough for the daytime. Don't you? That looks like there's quite a bit going on there. So I'm going to go for almonds. I've got a tiny bag of pistachios. They are very high in carbs for gram compared to almonds. But I wanted them. So, yeah. Pistachios. I'm going to do almonds. And almonds again there. Why not? And almonds. Right. So. Oh, but you can't even read all that, can you? Right, I might actually write this out for you again at the end because my handwriting's pickle. Right, so what else? That's pork crunch taken care of. Right, okay, I'm also going to put a line there because dessert, forgot about that, most important meal of the day. So, I feel quite satisfied with that, but what I do, there is probably a bit of flexibility in there. I mean, looking at, in terms of calories, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, actually, there's about 1,000 calories per day, give or take. I've got a bit of a gap on the Thursday. No chia pudding there. So there's a flexibility here. If I decide, oh God, I can't face my chia pudding, I'll leave it in the fridge. It keeps. So, you know, I can swap things out. If I see a bargain, see a deal, I might actually have a salad or something in there. In fact, I'm going to put a salad in on Thursday. Deli meat salad. Right. Oh no, she says. No, we're not having deli meat on Friday, because Friday at work we eat loads of food, and I think we're going to get takeout chicken for lunch. There. It's like spiced chicken, wings, and all that stuff. It's really, really lovely. And it's really good. Obviously, the wings and chicken fillets, they're not battered. Absolutely fine. And we have all of it work, and the whole office smells of chicken. It's beautiful. Right, so moving on to my dinners. Right, so I've got some things in here. I've got loads of things in here of dinners that I've found. When I say I've written them all down, I've also got them bookmarked in an app called Evernote. And there's quite a few bookmarking. It's actually a thing that sits inside Chrome, so you can just click on it anytime you see something on Chrome and it will bookmark it for you. I purely use it for recipes and inspiration, and then I categorically, you can put them in folders, and I've got, again, matching folders, so if anytime I fancy, I don't know, lemongrass chicken with cauli rice, I know where to look for it. So there's quite a bit here. I found some really nice recipes. This is not my cooking week, so because I don't cook during the week. I'm so tired. I have 2.5 hours of commuting a day. I just don't really do anything adventurous. What I probably will actually have quite a bit. So next week I've got burgers in the fridge. Fresh burgers I got on a whoopsie yellow sticker, so I was very happy about that. So I'm going to have burgers, salad. I'm going to put down salad actually because I didn't pick anything up today. I was too busy getting other things for my partner. And also I'm going to make up a big tub of sugar-free jelly, Jello, that's to you. And I'm going to have that every damn day. And I've also got a little pot of, it's called clotted cream here in the UK. I'm not sure if it's something that is done globally, but it's a speciality of a certain area of the country. And it's cream so thick you can stand your spoon in it. It's called clotted cream because it's unbelievably thick. And obviously very low carb because of the more dense cream, yogurt, milk comes, the less carbs. So I'm going to have cream. So that's every day. And again, another shot of fat. So Monday burger salad because I've got it in my fridge. I've also got some chicken in my fridge. I've really got to use it. And I've also got some romaine lettuce. So I'm thinking fajitas, chicken. But instead of having wraps, I have romaine lettuce, which is lovely. So do I need anything for that? No, my chicken should be okie dokie. Oh, that's what I am cooking tonight. And I'll have leftovers, which I'll probably freeze. And I'm making a bake with broccoli. I had some leftover gammon from last Sunday, which I'm going to just cook up just to, you know, get the oil fat out. Cook up in a cheesy sauce, so cheese, gammon and broccoli, and then I'm going to bake it with some more cheese on top. So I'm thinking I'll freeze that today and I'll have some of that on Wednesday. So I'm having a gammon and broccoli bake. I can't spell most of these words. Brilliant. Right. I've also got some courgettes. Ugh. So I'm thinking chicken Alfredo zoodles. How's that sound? You know what though, because I got courgettes, which is zucchinis, and they're getting a bit old, I actually may flip this round to that day. I'll give it some thought. But it doesn't really matter because this is just for me. It doesn't matter. I'm not getting tested on this. Right. And, Friday. Well, Friday we are good. So, I bought some fish. Oh, no, don't worry about that. Right, so Friday, because I'm absolutely poopered by Friday, my partner and I tend to grab something out. Just because we can't be bothered to peel ourselves off the sofa. So I will probably have, this is mucky food, kebab meat and salad. If you don't live in the UK, you might not appreciate the kebab culture we have here, which is lovely. Typically, you have a massive kebab after you've been out on the drink all night because it soaks up all the alcohol and you really crave one. Not really a sober thing, but it is basically meat, doner meat on a stick that they carve off, put in pita with salad, with chips, whatever you want. I have it on its own with salad. It's grilled meat, basically, and it's Turkish and Greek, typically, historically. But it's not here because they don't live here. So that's my plan for the week. It will probably change as I find bargains, change my mind, get hungry, not hungry. As you know, low carb, you tend to lose your appetite quite rapidly. On some days you absolutely want to eat the moon on a stick, so it may well change. So yeah, that is obviously hideously messy. Now you can't read this, but I appreciate that. So I may actually may rewrite this in beautiful handwriting so you can actually read it, which I'll do in a moment. But yeah, that is my general principle. So I need to get deli meat times 4, because I think I crossed one out, and just some salad. And I can actually grab that probably Monday. I haven't got to go out for that especially. Depends how I feel. I will probably go bargain hunting tomorrow on my way home from my afternoon out, because I'm like that. And also, if I'm doing chicken Alfredo, I'm going to be needing cream cheese. So I'm going to cast my eye over that. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with that. So there's that. I'm going to quickly pause and rewrite this just purely for your sake, not mine, because it's not fair. Hey guys, so I've just spent 5 minutes rewriting it in the hopes that you can actually read my handwriting a little bit better. Possibly it looks just as messy. So yeah, I actually did swap around my days for the zoodles. So I'm having cheeseburger salad, chicken Alfredo, chicken fajita wraps, gammon and broccoli bake, which I've got to cook in a bit, and a kebab salad. That's my main meal. So I hope you can kind of read that. But this is just for me, and this is how I do things. What I'll probably find is, what I tend to do is put loads of stuff on my plan and only eat about 80% of it. And then I change it all around, which I'm absolutely happy to do because that works for me. Budgeting reasons, but I can't walk past a bargain, so I'd rather buy the bargain and put something back, you know, and have it another time and take advantage of that. So I will. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I say your goals would work for you. This is just for me. I predict people will be saying that's not low carb. This is what I have, and this works for me. So have what works for you, works within your dietary requirements and your allergens and all that things. As I said, next time I'll do a video on the screen. Same principles, but you might find it easier, quicker if you're a techie person. Some people prefer doing it this way, but I will do that my next video for you, so you got some ideas about how you could do this a lot easier. And that would also include probably some carb counts and maybe some calories as well, as an option if you find that you'd find it easier than this, because a lot of this stuff, because I'm so familiar with it, it's some things I eat regularly. I know exactly what I'm having. So it's quicker for me. And I've not even worked out what I'm having. About 2,000 calories and about 30 grams of carbs. That'll do. I try not to overthink these things, otherwise it takes over your world. So that's it for this video. I hope that helps anyone. But this is what I do generally. And it does help me with my shopping list and help. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll be doing more low carb videos in the future. And I'll be getting back to some of my other keto things. So thanks very much. Please subscribe, please comment, all that things. I get about ½ cent for everyone that likes a video, so actually no, it's less than that. And I'm saving up for tummy tuck when I lose weight. So yeah, please feel free. I'm not really, but yeah, please feel free. I love hearing from people. If you've got any suggestions, I'd love to hear it. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.